All right. They won't even see you guys for the most part. So 2 rules. Number 1, when you find the power button, don't turn it on because they have batteries and we want them to last as long as possible. So we only turn them on when we're using them. So rule number 1, what was it? Don't turn them on. Find the power button, but don't turn them on. Rule number 2, although it's tempting, don't spin the wheels. Don't spin the wheels. There's a little gear in there that'll spin it when it's told to. So we don't want to strip those gears out, okay? So it is tempting, but they'll spin when told to spin. Rule number 1? Rule number 2? All right, so other than that, I just want you to look at them and observe them and look at all the stuff because I'm going to ask you 3 questions. The 3 questions are, what do you see, what do you think, and what do you wonder about this device? Okay? So you're going to look at them with your partner. Make sure your partner gets a chance to look at them and touch them and all of those things. There'll be 1 per group. Do you want to hand those out, 1 per group? My lovely assistant. Casey, you're my,
You're the assistant?
you are my assistant today, friend. Here's the other.
Legos.
So talk to your friend and tell each other what you guys see.
These look like Legos.
There you go. You'll get the other part here shortly.
She said button, but it's a switch. It's a switch. Is it a button or a switch?
I don't know.
It's a switch.
I wonder. I
It's
wonder if it's a button or a switch. My friends that have used these before, make sure that
Wait, this is a Lego. That's a switch.
our friends that have used these before, make sure our new friends get a good chance to look at those. You can take one too, Casey. Ultimately, you're going to need one.
She said don't switch.
So we have enough for them to use today?
Yeah, there's
I always
That's right, because we got up to 10, didn't we?
That's actually pretty cool. You can
And
attach.
Mr. Anderson should be learning right along.
You can grab one too.
Right alongside.
I also have another Chromebook back there that I'll use when I take them to the programs.
Let's see, Rashad, you're gonna be in 5th grade next year, right?
This is pretty cool.
Did you get a chance to look at it? Okay.
And Maria here is.
Oh, you already used them.
And you're going into 4th?
And then, wait, where do you plug this in?
We have some great questions coming up.
Well, like into the
So students, I'm going to grab your attention back up here. I'm going to grab your attention back up here.
Right, remind me.
So-
You're going into 6th grade too.
Talk to me. Talk to me a little bit. I'm going to ask you to raise your hand because there's about 12 of you in here. I want to know, what did you see? What do you think? What do you wonder? You don't have to answer all those or ask all those. I saw or I see, I think, and I wonder. So here's an example. I see that it's orange. Obviously. I think it's pretty cool. I wonder how we make this work. So, I see, I think, I wonder. Yes, sir.
I see it's like Legos.
I
Yeah, it
see
has a
it's
Lego
like
design.
Legos.
It has a Lego design.
I see there's a lot of gadgets in there. So we see that we can attach Legos to it, and there's a lot of circuits inside. What else? Yep.
I see that it has a lot of circuits.
A lot of circuits. What else do you guys see? What? Yeah. You see gray? Where do you see gray? On the wheels. I'm waiting for you
And
guys
on
to
the
see
inside.
very important things. What do you see?
Buttons.
Buttons. Buttons. There's buttons on the top.
The on and off.
There's
switches
buttons on the top. Students, I wonder what those buttons do. Did any of you wonder what those buttons do?
Yeah.
I do too. So there's 3 little buttons on the top. Look at this first button here. It's a circle. What do you think? I think. What do you think what that button does? What do you think that circle button does? Yep. You think it turns it on and off. What do you think? Do you think it stops it? What do you think?
I already know.
You already know. Don't cheat. What do you think? You think it's a power button. What do you think?
I think it's to stop it.
You think it's to stop it. So there's no wrong answer when you're thinking, right?
Right.
There's no wrong answer. So this round button, students, actually is the record button. So this is how we record our program from the computer onto here, and I'll show you how to do that in a little bit, but now you know that it's there. I think that this square button does what? What do you think the square button does? What do you think? What do you think?
I think it's for
Do
the
you think
brakes.
it stops it? What do you
It's
think?
like the
I
brakes,
think
I
it
guess.
transfers all of the power into the Chromebook.
You think it transfers the power to the Chromebook. What do you guys think? What do you think the square button does in the middle? Got any ideas? No was an acceptable answer. I don't think it does anything. I think it's just there to look good. Is that what you think? That's all right to think that. What do you think? You think one turns it on. What do you think? You already know. You're cheating. All right. That square button, actually, what does it do? Do you remember? What does it do?
Doesn't it pause it?
It pauses it. So
So this is the brakes.
the circle is our record button. The square is the stop button. So what do you think? What do you think the triangle does? What do you think it does? I think it makes it go. What do you think? Is that what you thought too?
Yeah, it's the only one left.
It's the only one left. So that triangle button is the run button. The run button. It'll play the program. So we have the record, stop, and run on the top. What else did you guys see? What else did you guys see? We missed a very important thing that you should have seen.
No, I didn't see anything.
You're cheating. You're already cheating again.
It's the other.
Oh, it's clear on the top. That's so that we can all wonder what's inside, right? But
On the back side is it?
on the back side, there's a switch.
We knew. I hate
That is the don't touch it switch unless you're told to. But here you go, you guys. Go ahead and turn that button, or turn that switch on.
Oh, whoa.
Turn
He's
that
got
switch on.
flashing. He's mad. He's got red.
Now what do you see?
Lights.
Lights.
He's
Red
flashing
flashing
'cause
lights.
he's supposed
So students, let's go ahead and turn it back on. Or, turn it back off. Oh, I wanted to make sure that you saw what it looks like when it's on. What else did you notice when you turned it on, students? Yeah.
Made a noise.
It made a noise. So this little robot has flashing lights and makes noise also. Interesting. One last thing that I'm hoping that you saw.
Has a Lego design.
One last thing I'm hoping you saw.
It was
What is it? Yeah, it's got a little connector in the back that this thing looks like it fits right into. So when you do that, you can see that it plugs in the back.
So where do we plug the other in?
That is a very good
Oh,
question.
in your Chromebook. In your Chromebook.
Where into your Chromebook is this going to go?
The charger.
In the headphone jack. So, all right, let's take a look and let's review for just a minute. You can unplug it. It doesn't need to be plugged in right now. Let's review for just a second. On the back, right here, we have our power button. We're going to leave it off right now because we don't want to waste batteries. But when we turn it on, what does it do? It makes a noise and flashing lights. So that's how we know it works. Very important because you guys are going to be my helpers throughout the next year. So if somebody turns that button on and there's no lights and no sound, what do you know?
It's dead.
It's dead. And these batteries, we've troubleshooted it. We've done some troubleshooting now. But these are important things for you guys to know because you're going to be our helpers, right? So I turn it on, no lights, no sound. Probably needs batteries. They should go talk to the teacher and get batteries, right?
Yeah.
We also found that there's buttons on the top. Which one was our record button to get the circle? And then when we're ready to make it go?
The triangle.
The triangle. Super easy. I'm ready. I've done my program, which I'm going to show you how to do in just a minute. I've made my program on my computer. I need to get it from my computer into my robot. How do I get it there?
Plug it in the back.
Which end?
That end.
This end goes into what?
The headphone jack.
My headphone jack, and this end goes into
The robot.
the robot. Now listen. You guys just taught yourself how to use this thing. I don't, cause that's because you're cheaters. So, I hardly taught you anything about this. You all figured it out just by looking at it, right?
No, we didn't.
It's pretty impressive. I
Yes.
bet if I wasn't here, you would have figured it all out. Because, now I want to show you a great video that tells you how to work this program. Let me make sure my sound is all the way up.
Let's get started with EdBlocks. Using EdBlocks is easy. Just drag and drop the blocks you want to fill the program. Simply click on a number to change a block's duration. You can find more blocks by clicking on the arrow buttons. Once you've built your program, you can download it to your Edison robot. Connect your Edison to your computer using the EdCom cable. Press the round record button on Edison one time. Then click the program button in EdBlocks. Make sure your volume is turned all the way up. Then click Program Edison. Edison will follow your program one block at a time. EdBlocks makes it easy to experiment with programming. With over 150 blocks, there's so much you can do. What will you create with Edison and EdBlocks?
So I'm going to show you the basic program for this. Just the very basic one. There are a lot of other programs that go along with this that'll make this robot do a lot of other cool things. But when I first introduce them to students, I want them to be successful right from the beginning. So a few of my friends have already done these before, and they have been successful with these, and I may actually show you some of the other things. How many of you have done code.org before? Yeah, so I don't know that you guys have done it so much this year, but maybe last year you did code.org a little bit more. One of the programs that programs the bots looks just like code.org, where you bring those blocks over. This one looks a lot like it too, but a little bit simpler, right?
Yeah.
So the other program looks almost exactly like code.org. So if you're familiar with code.org, those programs are going to be super easy for you to use. So I'm going to show you how to use this very basic block program, because this is what you would be using the first few times that you worked with other kids, or that your teacher might be doing this, okay? And I'll get you to this website in just a minute. For those of you that don't know, here's what I like to do. I like to demonstrate to all of you first how it works, so that those of you that are comfortable with it after I've demonstrated can go ahead and try it. And those that aren't, then I can help you. Does that make sense? So after we're done, then I'll have you guys log in. So you'll only need how many Chromebooks? Just one. One per group. Per group, you're right. You're also right. So you'll only need one per group. So I'm glad that you guys have brought both of them. Totally fine. Honestly, could you both make a program?
Yeah.
Yeah. And could you both run your program?
Yeah. Wait, do we get to do a program?
We're going to do a program. Absolutely. You think I would bring you in here to look at robots and not actually use them?
No.
No way.
Well, actually, yeah.
No way. No way. So when we go to this program, you saw that they dragged and dropped the little blocks onto here, right?
Yeah.
What are some things you notice about these blocks? Yeah.
You can change the time on how it does.
Yeah, so this number here is going to change the time, how long it'll perform that function.
3 seconds?
3 seconds. Why did you think 3 seconds and not 3 minutes or 3 hours or 3 days?
Has the number 3.
And why did you think it was 3 seconds as opposed to any other time?
There is nothing else.
There's other things, but does 3 minutes seem reasonable?
No.
No, 3 minutes is a
No.
long time for this robot to go straight, right?
3 minutes.
We'd be
would
waiting forever to
3
crash into the wall.
Yeah.
We don't want that to happen. So these are in seconds. These are in seconds.
How about 10?
And some of the other programs, then you can actually choose the speed and the time. So there's some other things that you can do too. So up at the top, up here at the top, there are a couple of different options. The first one is the drive option. So when I pull that down, you can see that, what is this one going to do?
You go forward.
It's going to go forward for how long?
1 second.
Yeah. What about this one right here?
Turn left.
It's going to turn left for how long?
1 second.
1 second. Now we get into some other things. These ones, I don't have the stuff to make it work today. Some of them are going to follow light, so they'll follow a flashlight. If you had a flashlight, it'll follow a
It
flashlight.
has a light sensor.
It does. See these on the,
Bottom.
I think it's these right here. There's like little silver circles right here at the top front, if you look closely. There's little silver circles. I think those are the light ones. I don't know, but it also senses sound. I can't remember which ones they are. So these ones are going to follow light. This one's going to follow a black line. So you could technically draw a line on a piece of paper and it'll follow it. I don't have the markers or the paper or the time today to do that because I just want to show you some of these basics. But just know that it could happen. You could. What do you think this one's going to do? Stop. So you guys, this is very intuitive, which means that it should be very easy for you to use. When you look at it, it just kind of makes sense, right? That's what's cool about these robots. And then if I scroll over, this one here is kind of hard. Whoops. This one's here is kind of hard for you to see, but this one adjusts the speed. This one will adjust the speed. It'll go slower, regular, or fast. So you can kind of adjust the speed of these things too. If you don't want one of the tiles, you can either drag it into the garbage, or what I've also found recently is if I just drag it up to the top, it goes away too. I found that on accident. There's other options in here, and I'm going to let you guys look at these, but what do you think this does? It does. So you can program this to play your sheet music from your music classes. How many of you have music class? Some of our older kids, yep. So if you had sheet music, you could actually program this to play that music and some other things. So you're able to look at these, and I'm going to give you the opportunity to try these in just a minute, okay? So this is where I need your help, Casey. So make sure that you're logged in, because here's the problem. Here's the one problem, the only problem I have with the robots. Are you ready to hear it?
Yeah.
My only problem with the robots is this robot will not connect to this device. This is very important for your teachers too, because they might have this question. They might forget, because I do. This robot will not connect to our teacher devices. They only connect to a Chromebook. The Chromebook does not connect easily to the projector. Only this does. So I have to have two devices, which is why I brought my lovely assistant Casey to demonstrate. She's going to do the program on the Chromebook that I'm putting up on the board so that we can do them both. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Your teacher might need to know that too. These don't work on the computer. They only work on the yoga. Are you logged in, friend? Okay. And then it is edblocsapp.com. I'll write it up on the board.
So while she's writing that, when there's a break, and I'll invite you to the board, but I haven't gotten everybody's names up there, and I want to know what grade you will be in next year. Okay? So I know I probably only have about half of you up there.
Casey, I wrote it up on the
But only when she's ready to give you a break, okay? Or just sometime before you leave.
So, while Casey's getting logged in, she's just going to put the same thing that I'm putting up here on that Chromebook so that we can program it, all right? Okay. So I'm just going to make an easy one. Whoops. I'm going to make an easy one. This one's going to go, what's this first one going to do?
Go forward 3 seconds.
Go forward 3 seconds. What's this going to do? It's going to flash the lights, and then maybe I'll just make it turn right. So, very easy program. I suggest that the very first time that you use it, you do a very easy program so that you can know that it all worked. Because, like in the future, I don't think these have anything programmed on them right now. But if they did, you wouldn't, and you had something crazy going on, you wouldn't necessarily know if your program worked or if it was the last person's program. So the first time you do it, do something simple so you can identify whether it worked or not. You got it, friend?
Yes.
Then, I'm going to plug this in. Where am I plugging this into?
The headphone jack.
The headphone jack. See, you guys are pros. You're pros. Now, this is very important. You have to sit very quiet, so you got to turn it on too, buddy. Okay, so now we know it's on because it made the beep noise and it lit up. So now, let's watch up. I'm gonna make you go back and forth between what we're watching. First, watch up there, okay? So I'm gonna click on. Does anyone remember what I'm gonna click on?
The play button. Yeah.
Program Edison. Good job, guys. So we're going to start by clicking on Program Edison up here in the top right corner. And then when I do that, it's going to give me some instructions. A little reminder, just in case I forgot, which we all know we forget sometimes. So this says, number 1, connect your Edison to your computer's headphone jack using the EdCom cable. Check? Check. Number 2, very important. Check that your computer's volume is at maximum. What does maximum mean? That's as loud as it'll go. So you have to make sure that your computer is at max volume, because that's where it's getting its program from. Is that on max volume? Check. Number 3, press the round record button on the Edison 1 time. Listen. Okay, so it makes that beep beep sound. So it's ready to record. And then what do we do? Click the Program Edison button. Now listen again. Did you hear that? It kind of makes like a little grinding noise. Bleep, like that. So watch this. Hang on. Program Edison again. If it's not connected right, maybe it's just if it's not connected right, somebody in here is going to do it. It's totally not a big deal. But you'll hear it. It doesn't make that. It says a little bit louder. So that's a troubleshooting thing. So if you notice that your friend's robot is not connecting or not programming, make sure the headphone jacks are all plugged in all the way. And you'd know because you hear that different noise. Does that make sense? Should we see if it worked? Should we see if our friend Casey got this right? Yes. All right, here's the most important part.
Pressure, Casey.
I know she did. Here's the most important part. Do you know how far it's going to go in 3 seconds?
Maybe 3, maybe right into the chair.
It could go in the chair.
Well, it depends on the speed.
We don't know.
It depends on the speed.
It does. And we have no idea how far that's going to go, right? Well, here's the deal, you guys. I don't want to drop these on the floor over and over and over again. So, where would be the most logical place? On the floor. So, anytime you're testing these bots, put them on the floor so they don't fall off. Like, they can handle a little bit of an accident, but if they're falling off a table, well, they can only handle so much. How many times could you fall off a table before you were hurt?
Once.
Probably once. So let's treat our bots the same way. All right, Casey, let's see if it works. Going forward 3. And it turns on and turns. It blinks and turns at the same time.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool.
That is pretty
I
cool.
want one.
Of course you do. So, students, here's the best part. Here's the absolute best part. You have now, listen, don't log in yet. You've now all been given all the information you need to be successful in running these bots. You know everything there is to know about running these bots. So, you need to work with your partner. If you have a question, ask your partner. If you don't understand how to do something, ask your partner. If your partner doesn't know, ask another pair. Here's what you cannot do. You cannot come ask me. The only time you can come ask me is if it doesn't turn on. If it doesn't turn on, okay? Because that means that we need new batteries, and we don't need new batteries because they're all brand new batteries today. So really, you shouldn't even have to ask me anything. You have all the.
I have a Chromebook.
That's fine because I saw that there's extras in here, so we're just going to grab one of the extras. Is that okay? Great question. That's a reasonable question. That's not something I covered in our little lesson. So, are we ready?
Yes.
All right, go ahead and log in, friends. You're the best, Casey. I appreciate you. See how difficult it is for me to have to try and do that and this at the same time? Oh, I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
All right, let's let Mr. Anderson.
Yeah. Yeah, you can do it. I promise you can
He's
do
going to
it.
be one of my experts next year. Okay, so now would be a good time if you want to come fill in your name up here. You can use any color.
Students, why don't you do it this way? One of you make sure you're logging in, and the other one, go put your name up there.
Perfect.
Sorry to interrupt
That's
you.
perfect.
So one student,
You're
go
up
ahead and
there,
log
Bentley,
in,
I need your last name up there.
and one student go and put your name on the board, and then come back and switch.
Yes, I want first and last names, please. And you can use any color marker.
It was right there, so it stopped a little bit in front of it.
I'm going to show you in just a second.
It was,
This is your grade next year.
yeah.
All right, students, I'm waiting for everybody to get logged in, and then once you're logged in, I'm gonna tell you where to go to. It looks like most of you are logged in. Students, look up here at the whiteboard. Oh, goodness, I'm so sorry, I almost ran you right over. This is the website for it. It's edblocksapp.com. If you didn't get that, you can look up here. You don't even need to ask. It's right up here on the whiteboard, edblocksapp.com.
Would that be possible to put on their rapid identity?
No.
It has to be a whole district,
Yeah, but teachers can put it on their Google Classroom or whatever.
right? Yeah.
Students, once you get to edblocksapp.com, you can either watch that video again if you like, or just launch something. It says launch something. Edison? I don't know. What it is. Launch Edblocks. So I think it's launch.
It says launch and either Edblocks or Edisons.
I can't remember. Launch program maybe? If that would make sense.
If they say, can they say this to their bookmark?
Oh, it's on the other side. Maybe we should do that.
Yeah, and the reason that they wouldn't necessarily put it on the rapid identity is because we have 10 different types of robots.
No, I know, I'm just thinking if they could roll that out to
This old program.
No, but teachers could put it on their Google Classroom, like it's,
yeah.
I'll actually, what I could do is make a list of the websites that I could put with it.
Oh, yeah.
Just stick it in there.
That's a good idea.
Somebody could laminate it or something.
Yep.
With troubleshooting tips.
Program that.
Yep.